And now snowplow trackers. In the middle of a nor'easter like today, knowing when a plow is coming to clear your street would be pretty handy. So we wanted to know why residents in many other cities and states can track plows in real time, but Rhode Islanders can't.
Eyewitness News reporter Steve Nielsen went to Boston to see how the tracking system works there and to find out why it is not an option here. Steve?
Well, Mike Shannon, I was talking with a viewer recently, and he pointed out that in New York City, it takes just a few seconds on your smartphone to see when the last plow went down your street, when you can expect another to come. And we've learned Providence and Rhode both have GPS in their trucks, but you can't see it.
Winter in New England. Snowplows make your street drivable before another nor'easter hits. Over the last few years, we've told you about new technology helping fight piles of snow.
We've tried a pair of things over the last few years that are really allows the public to see greater information about plow locations.
I went to Boston, sitting down with Chris Osgood, the chief of the streets in New England's largest city. He says for 8 years, their plows have been tracked with GPS technology. And last winter, the city launched a website allowing residents to track trucks and see when their street was last plowed.
We have no need to sort of hide sort of our actual performance, and we have an interest in actually presenting to the best we possibly can information around the operations we have going on in the city.
Here in the city of Boston, officials say they're always looking for the latest and greatest technology to try to make their snow plowing more transparent. So what about Rhode Island cities and towns?
We told you in 2012, during a storm, the Providence EMA tracks plows with GPS. So if they can see it, why can't you? A spokesperson for the Providence mayor says the city is currently launching a new GPS system this winter, and they haven't considered sharing the tracking info with the public yet. The director of the state's DOT says they have GPS too.
We haven't considered even making that a kind of public web access, but it's something we may consider.
It's a useful way for them to know that, hey, it's snowing, but the city is on it.
Boston actually took down its online tracker this winter because of technical issues, and they're now using social media like Twitter to provide updates during storms until a new system's ready to go. But our research shows plenty of state DOTs allow the public to track plows, like Vermont, Pennsylvania, Maryland, even Virginia, and cities around the size of Providence do as well. Pittsburgh, Richmond, Wichita, Cincinnati. We checked and learned Warwick, Cranston, and Pawtucket do not track plows with GPS.
Okay, so snowplow trackers are pretty complicated. They might seem they're more complicated than they might seem. It's partly why Boston doesn't have one this year. We find out why and how they can be improved coming up new at 6. I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.
Now, snowplow trackers. As we told you live at 5, several states and cities have online tools so that residents can track snowplows. It lets residents see when their street was last plowed in a storm and when to expect the next truck to come.
And Rhode and Providence have GPS on their plows, but you can't see it. New at 6 tonight, Eyewitness News anchor Steve Nielsen heads to Boston to see how their system works and uncovers why they stopped their public tracker this year.
Yeah, for 8 years, Boston snowplows have been equipped with GPS, and last year the city made headlines when they launched a live snowplow tracker. It's gone now, and we learned it's because tracking snowplows is a little more complicated than it seems.
When nor'easters wreak havoc on local roads, workers try to plow them as quickly as possible so you can drive safely again. Eyewitness News has learned while other places like Vermont, Pennsylvania, New York City, even Richmond, Virginia, allow you to track their plows in real time, you can't in Rhode Island.
We haven't considered even making that a kind of public web access, but it's something we may consider.
So I went to Boston to talk with the chief of the streets, Chris Osgood. They launched a snowplow tracking app and website last year, but this winter the city pulled it down because of technical issues, and they're now using social media updates to keep citizens informed and address questions or concerns until a new system is ready.
We've certainly noticed in some of the pilots we've done in the past is that there's a lot of people who want to be able to see where plows are, or how many plows are out on the streets.
Osgood showed us their internal system and told us why they pulled the old tracker down. Plows are only tracked at their location every 90 seconds, which means quick trips down side streets could go unnoticed. Plus, it only reveals location, not what the truck is doing.
We think we can actually do an even better job of understanding where the plows are, where they're spreading salt, when the plow blades are down, all those sort of things.
Providence has GPS technology as well, and we've learned they're moving to a new tracking system this winter, but a spokesperson tells us it's a work in progress, and at this time, there's no plan to make the tracking public.
So we looked into other local cities. Warwick, Cranston, Pawtucket, and Fall River do not have GPS in their trucks. New Bedford does, but doesn't make that information available to the public. I'm Steve Nielsen, Eyewitness News.